I'm currently a gym instructor at the Gym Group. Well, I've got to say, my name's Ed, I'm 18 years old. Main thing I do is obviously bodybuilding, but I'm looking to become an online coach, self-employed. Essentially what that is obviously it's just personal training, but mainly what we do is we do it online. It means we can have more focus towards our clients and give them that independency to go out and sort of go to the gym and learn the depths themselves, as well as us coaching them, giving them meal plans, giving them training plans. But yeah, the main thing I'm here to talk about today is sort of meal plans and what nutrition is within the fitness industry. Why do I do it? I love fitness. I've loved fitness ever since I was a kid. I started playing football when I was a lot younger. When I was in year 10, I struggled a lot in school. Mentally, I was always got told I had like ADHD and stuff like that, but I decided to go to the gym, start lifting weights, start bodybuilding, and I started to really enjoy it. And now I'm looking to, all my experience that I've had within the 3 years of training, I want to bring to other people and help them learn in the gym as well. And I think I prefer doing it online coaching way as opposed to personal training, because like I said, I can give people that opportunity to go out and learn the depths themselves, but also gives me the opportunity to coach them online and open the door to, I can bring it to more people across the country. The importance of nutrition in the fitness industry. So, first of all is obviously macronutrients and our calorie surplus deficit. So the main thing that we do within making meal plans for people is we'll have first 2-3 weeks will be about learning our client, learning their body, how their body works to a certain amount of calories. So we'll start off at, let's say, 2,500 calories and sort of see how their body reacts to that, making sure we're getting in the right fats, carbs and proteins within that meal plan, making sure that they're going to sort of week reviews, and then after that 3 weeks see whether they've gained weight overall, maintained weight, or whether they've lost weight. And by what we know from that, we'll obviously change that over to the next week. We'll go into a new phase of whether we decide to go into a couple of months of bulking or a couple of months of cutting, or whether we just want to maintain. Obviously that's tailored to depending on how the client wants it. We always making sure we're giving what our client wants. But also I want to talk about eating lean and then compared to eating dirty. So obviously a lot of clients will come to us, and obviously nutrition being the most important part of the fitness industry as well, being when we're making a meal plan, a lot of people won't necessarily know what they're doing nutrition wise. It's the hardest part to get right, making sure you get all your macros right. Sometimes people will come to us and they've never tracked their calories in their life. So that's always the start where we start, making sure that we begin tracking their calories, because what they'll do is they won't know what they're actually eating, because obviously they're not tracking. They might think they're eating enough, they might not be. They might think they're eating the amount they need to cut, they might not be. So that's kind of our job to step in and sort of say that they're not doing it right, or we can help them to do it right and stuff like that. So eating lean versus eating dirty. Obviously up there I've got clean foods versus dirty foods. You can have 3,000 calories a day. If you have 3,000 calories worth of chocolate cake and just like McDonald's and just not eating the right foods, but you're only going to get, even if you're getting the right amount of proteins and stuff like that, you're going to gain weight, but it's not going to be sufficient. The amount of weight that we want to be gaining, not the best it's not the best look either. I've obviously experienced that when I was a lot younger. I first started going gym, I decided to bulk up, and I've just started to pile on McDonald's and takeaways, and it's not been a good idea at all. But now, as I've got older, I've decided to bulk up a little bit more, and I've decided to eat leaner foods, more whole foods. I look a lot better, I feel a lot better as well, which is a big part. So essentially, that's the big part of it is, let's say a client came to us and 2,000 calories was their set number. They wanted to lose weight, they wanted to get leaner. We can give them 2,000 calories worth of cheeseburgers, and it's not going to do anything, it's really not going to help them at all. Or we can give 2,000 calories, making sure we get the right amount of macronutrients, the right amount of vitamins, which, like you said, supplementation is very important, because another thing that I want to get into partly is the fact that sometimes in a diet plan, it's absolutely impossible to get every single macronutrient and micronutrient within that plan. It's going to be a very difficult thing to do. So supplementation is a very key part. Stuff like magnesium, like you said, and then make sure we're getting multivitamins. Iron is another good one. But obviously, main one being creatine. I don't know whether we've obviously probably all heard of creatine. Basically goes with water, and it's the absorption of water to your muscles, making you feel more full. So there's that. But yeah, like I said, making them the diet plan clean versus dirty. But if we give them 2,000 calories worth of clean foods, we're going to see a lot more progress. We're going to see them develop as a whole and seeing the results that we want to get them to. Obviously up there we have our macronutrients, carbs, fats, proteins. Proteins obviously knowing as the growth and repair, giving us lactic acid and giving us being able to repair our bodies and our muscles after training. Our fats are for hormonal use. I've made the mistake before in deciding to cut and cutting out fats to about 20 grams, which is absolutely awful. It's something you should never do because it really affects your hormones. That was something that I didn't know before coming into training. So that's another thing that I've thought about is when you're cutting, eating fat doesn't necessarily make you fat. It's all about how much you're eating, your metabolic rate as well compared to how much you're eating. And then obviously our carbohydrates, that's our powerhouse, that's where we get our fuel from. And that's the main thing that we leverage between bulking and cutting. So if we're going to bulk up and we want to get as much energy and feeling good in the gym, we're going to make sure we're getting, for a male, 400, 450 grams of carbs. For a female, it might be slightly less, maybe 250 to 300 grams. But when we're cutting, that's going to come down a lot lower. We're going to reduce that by about 100 to 150 grams of carbs. We want to make sure proteins and fats are relatively the same because that's not leveraged as much. Fats is leveraged ever so slightly, but proteins usually stay the same. Obviously, carbs are leveraged straight down. And then final bit I just want to add is obviously here are my socials as well. So I'd really appreciate giving me a follow because I've come here to basically kind of promote myself a little bit. It's my first time ever talking in front of a crowd of people, so I hope I've done well. But yeah, so the main reason I've come here is to build up my following so I can build up my business and stuff like that. So people getting out their phones, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Top tips, I've got 2 little top tips here. So I've got how to deal with cravings. A lot of people have cravings, especially during the cutting phase. Main thing to deal with cravings is diet drinks. So things like Diet Pepsi, no sugar Pepsi, no sugar Fanta. This is going to help us with our sweet tooth. But another thing to deal with cravings is actually the strategy of where we're placing our meals during the day. So later on in the evening, we might have a sweet yogurt bar as a little treat. It's still healthy, but it's going to kill that sweet tooth before we go to bed. Making sure that waking up in the morning, we've had that craving fulfilled, and we can go on with the rest of the day. And through the week, just making sure we're having strategic meals done throughout the day. And I already went on to it, but supplementation, making sure that we're getting the right supplements in, spending that little bit extra money to get the supplements to complement our diet plan. Because, like I said, when we're doing a diet plan, it can be really difficult to fit everything into one whole plan, especially with the limited amount of calories that we have. So yeah, thank you for inviting me for this. So I hope I've done well. Yeah, thank you guys for coming as well. So,